everyone. Director Doug here once again, and today we have a special guest in studio. She plays a very popular character on Discovery Mountain, and you'll get to meet her today as Jean asks her some questions to kind of find out what makes her tick behind the scenes. Jean, why don't you go ahead and introduce us to our guest today?
All right. Thanks, Director Doug. And with us in studio, sort of, we're all connected remotely, but we're together, is Elika Nelson. Welcome, Elika.
Hi.
Good to have you with us again. And you actually visited us, you and your grandma, Genet Nelson, you visited us in person just about, what was it, a month or so ago?
Yeah, I think it was. It was in May.
In May, right. And you got to visit us at our studios here in Colorado, and it was just great to see you.
It was awesome. Honestly, I don't know. You're way prettier in person than I even imagined.
Oh, aren't you the sweetest? I didn't even pay you to say that.
I was just going to say, did you transfer her some money or something?
You don't need
Well,
So
too bad I wasn't there in person too. Maybe I'm handsomer in person. I don't know.
I've watched your guys' videos, and I think you're extremely nice. And honestly, the funniest video was the prank you guys did. I laughed so hard.
Oh, on the actors in the studio, yeah.
Where we gave them the bogus script, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun, wasn't it? Director Doug, we might have to do that again sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
keep that in
Elika
mind.
will be the victim. Well, Elika, you play the character Genet, and as Director Doug said, she's very popular. Our listeners love her. And she has a really special story because your grandma, Genet Nelson, created that character. And she's based on someone in real life, isn't she? Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, so Genet is based on my aunt Elika. She is from Ethiopia. And so my grandma has always wanted a girl, but so she didn't get one. She was actually wanting a baby, but then Elika came into their life, and they were like, you know what? So I'm very blessed to have Elika as an aunt.
Yeah. And, Elika was with you when you visited us here in Colorado, and I could tell that you and she are just really close. You have a really special connection.
Yeah. She told my parents if anything ever happened to them, I'm hers.
Oh, she claimed you. That's awesome. I love it. Well, yeah. So Genet in Discovery Mountain also, of course, has been adopted from Ethiopia, as the listeners discover listening to season 19. And we get to know a bit of her story. And then her family moves to Discovery Mountain, and we've been able to get to know you a lot more. So let's think about Genet and her character for a minute. How are you, Elika, kind of similar to her, and how are you different?
Well, I'm definitely similar to Genet, that I really love my family and I'm always open to new friends. But I think I'm a little bit not similar as Genet is. She has way more, I don't know how to put this. Well, I think she has a little bit more of a relationship with her parents, the way that I mean, like she has a lot more respect for her parents. I'm not saying that I don't respect my parents. I'm saying that, well, I always have to look at Genet as more of a role model. Try to be like Genet too. Yeah.
So Genet maybe is what you would aspire to if everyday relationships went exactly as, ideally they should.
Yeah.
Would that be fair? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, here's another fun fact for our listeners. Your mom in real life is also your mom in the program.
Yeah, so is my dad.
And your dad, that's right. So you kind of, I guess it's kind of neat. You all three get to sort of interact in that unique way through the script and through the stories that are created. Yeah, I love it. Elika, we all have favorite foods. very often, if you've listened to these interviews before, people say it's pizza. Can't imagine why. Do you have a favorite food?
Oh, definitely. I've always loved those little mochis, those rice dough balls with ice inside is ice cream. I honestly do a little happy dance whenever I get the opportunity to have one.
Oh, that's awesome. They are yummy, aren't they? They're really, really sweet and delicious. Yum. Love it. And Elika, when you're thinking through the Bible, are there any verses that are really special and meaningful to you?
Yes. One of them has my name in it. That is 2 Samuel 23:25. I am one of David's mighty men, and a lot of people just think it's a name, but I kind of think of it as God has a purpose for all of us. And yeah.
That's awesome. So your name is right there in that chapter of the Bible. Wow, that's cool.
It's amazing because it's the same spelling too.
Wow.
There you go.
That's cool.
I love it. Yeah, that's really special to find your name in the Bible. Did your parents choose your name based on that verse, or did they kind of discover that later on?
They discovered that later on.
Okay,
I'm
that's neat.
So I'm pretty sure my mom said that they looked it up afterwards, but she heard it off of a video game. I think it was Princess Elika.
Okay.
And my mom was like,
Liked
that's
it.
a really pretty good name. So they looked it up and they're all like, it was all brave or pretty princess. And my mom was all like, definitely. So
Sounds
they
like a
kept
good
it.
name for you. No, I love it. That's great. That's awesome. So as you're thinking about the future, Elika, and your plans when you're finished high school, you're still a student now. What are you thinking you'd like to do with your life?
Oh, I've always been interested in dermatology. Yeah, I'm not sure though. Like, you always have different outcomes with life, but my parents actually has been asking me lately because I've looked into it more, asking me lately sometimes, like, what's this or what's that? And a lot of times I get it. I'm not saying every time. Sometimes I might be wrong, I'll admit.
Well, you haven't been to medical school yet, so you get a pass. Well, that's awesome. Well, maybe while you're in high school, you'll have a chance to maybe do a little bit of volunteer work at a clinic or something and get a little hands-on experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, Elika. Do you have any pets at home?
I do. I have 3 cats and 3 dogs.
Wow. What are their
It's a
names?
busy household.
Yeah.
My dogs are Henry, Lucy, and Huey. They all start with Y, and it's sometimes we mix their names. And then we have our 3 cats, which are Marvin, Leonard, and Franklin.
Oh, I love it. Those are great names. Great names. What kind of dogs are they?
My dog's Henry is a toy poodle,
Cute.
while Lucy is a short-haired Chiweenie. She's mostly dachshund, and then Huey is 3/4 Chihuahua and 1/4 Shih Tzu, but we still can't find any Shih Tzu about him.
He's all Chihuahua. The Chihuahua took over, did it? Oh, that's cute. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of fun with them. That's awesome. When you have some free time, what are the kinds of things you like to do? What are your hobbies?
Oh, I've always loved a good book, but I also really like playing with my sisters in different ways. We collect little stuffed animals and play with those all the time.
Oh, fun. Now, are your sisters younger than you or older?
They're younger than me.
Okay. And 2 younger sisters?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do they like listening to Discovery Mountain and hearing you on it?
Oh, they do. They're always excited. My youngest sister, Ayla, she's every single time she hears me, she goes, "Elika, that's you!"
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's really cute. Oh, you're a celebrity, even with your own family. I love it. Oh, that's great. Well, as you picture Discovery Mountain in your imagination, what if you could really visit? Where do you think you would want to go when you got to town?
Oh, if I ever got to town, I wish it'd be in the summer so I can go to the camp. I've always loved camping. We have a little church camp out, and I've gone since, I don't even remember, as long as I can remember. I remember 5, but 2 was the youngest.
Wow. So you've been camping just since you were a little tyke, toddling around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you would probably love summer camp then. Have you been to summer camp where you are?
No, I haven't. I've always wanted to go to Leone Meadows, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe one day. Yeah. Well, Elika, you really do a wonderful job bringing Genet to life. And I just have to brag about you for 1 minute before we wrap up. Your grandma created your character, Genet, and she wrote that season. And she knew you would be great as the voice of Genet, but she didn't want to seem biased. So she had you audition, and she sent the information to Director Doug and the producers and me. And then Director Doug cast you in the part. And then she said, oh, by the way, that's my granddaughter. Yeah. So your talent alone lent itself to that role. Well, Genet, thank you so much for joining us here. And
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and we look forward to hearing more about Genet in Discovery Mountain and how she grows and changes, and getting to know you more too. For those of you listening at home, thank you for joining us for this interview, and I hope that you enjoy getting to know Elika Nelson just a little bit more. You know, Elika has something special that some of you have too. That's that your name is found in the Bible. And if you have a common Bible name like Jacob or John or Mary, you know already that your name is in the Bible, but maybe you have a less common name. You are also mentioned specially in Scripture. There's a beautiful verse. It's one of the most famous verses. It's John 3:16, and it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." And you can substitute your name for that word whoever, because that verse is talking about you. So try it. Look up John 3:16 and substitute your name there, and be reminded that God has a special love and a special plan just for you. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you here next time.